Hello, welcome to Meet the HR Show, and we are still here at Kabarak. Last week we were able to know how you can prepare for an interview so that you can get that job you've been eyeing. So today we're going to look at some of the questions that are within an interview. And one question, when you're asked, tell us about yourself. How do you start? What are you supposed to talk about? Today we still have our professor here, and he'll be able to shed more light towards tell us about yourself. Karibu sana, Professor.
Asante sana.
We are very happy to be here once again, and it's an honor. Last week we were able to talk about preparing for an interview, and lots of questions were able to come in. And most people decided to ask, when I am asked, tell us about yourself, how do I start? Should I talk about my professional, or should I just talk about, I am a third born in a family of 5? How do I go about it?
Well, that is the first question.
Yes.
And candidates are normally asked as a way of introduction.
Oh.
So, and the chair or whoever is asking the question will always guide the interviewee on what to expect in that particular response. And the expectation could be education background, the working experience, or the professional experiences of the candidate. So then what the candidate will do is just to follow the guide that has been given by the chair of the panel or the panelist or any of the panelists.
Okay. But so when you're asked, tell us about yourself, they will guide you.
They will guide you.
They won't just ask.
They should, it should not be an open-ended. Otherwise, you can talk about anything.
Yes.
Yeah. However, if that question has not, the guide has not been provided, then you may need to focus on the pertinent issues that are relevant to the interview. And obviously, one is, of course, your name. You must be able to tell the panel about your name. You should also be able to talk about your educational experiences, because that is normally what is required. Your educational background, your work experience, including professional.
Okay.
Now, if it is a faith-based organization like Kabarak University, then obviously you may need to talk about your faith, because that is very key.
Now, before we go further, tell us about yourself.
I serve at Chepkilot University as the Deputy Vice Chancellor, Administration and Finance, and I've been working here for the last 13 years. 13? Yes, 13 years. Yeah, and I thank God for that.
Amen.
Yeah, and my area is human resource management. I practice, and I also teach human resource management, particularly to postgraduate students.
Postgraduate.
Yes.
Now, how long should it take me to just talk about myself? When I'm asked, tell us about yourself, how long should I take? Is there a maximum amount of time I should use to tell us about myself without boring an interviewer and start bragging until the interviewer is like, this interviewer, it's too much? Again,
the panel may specify the time limit for that particular segment of introduction. It can be 2 minutes, 3 minutes, then you'll take that particular time.
Okay.
But if you are not given time, it should not take long, really. Just focus on the most important things about yourself that you believe are relevant to the interview.
Some of the components you've talked about have been education, background. Apart from that, what else?
It depends now on the nature of job.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. And obviously, what is needed is to be able to mention things that will give you a competitive advantage over the other competitors. Yeah. So, in that case, in case of a lecturer, we are hiring somebody who is coming for a teaching job. There are pertinent issues that you may need to mention. That includes publications. It's very key in the academic world. The issues of supervision.
Yes.
How have you been able to supervise
Yes.
students in the fields of specialization, in your field of specialization?
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, I have just finished school. What am I supposed to say considering my experience?
Okay. For a new person who has graduated from college,
Yes.
of course, you talk about what you have achieved so far as far as the job is concerned.
Like, for
And
example,
part of that
volunteering.
includes academic
Yes.
qualifications that you have at the moment. If you have been able to undergo, you have been able to place on attachment
Yes.
or internship, those are the things to talk about. If you have also any other professional qualifications for, let's say, accountants, you're talking about CPA, the CPA courses that you have gone through and the exams that you have already passed. In case of a human resource graduate, HR, then you should be able to mention whether they have been able to sit for CHRP. CHRP.
Now, if they've been qualified by those boards.
Yeah.
So it's very important to put some of that.
Yes, it is important.
Now, why the question, tell us about yourself. Why is it necessary that every single time you go for an interview, that is the first question that you're asked?
Yes, it is very important. One, it accords the candidate an opportunity to express and to tell the panel about him or herself.
Yes.
And the best person to tell about yourself is yourself. You know yourself better.
Yes.
And it's also it's the beginning where you need to connect with the candidate.
Yes.
And normally that is where the candidate is able to tell the panel about him or herself.
Okay.
And it's a very useful question.
What exactly are they looking for? Because sometimes when you're asked, tell us about yourself, you give your education, qualification that you've gotten. If, for example, you've been working, you give all the qualifications. What exactly are they looking for?
One, they want to know your history, your background. That is very important.
Yes.
Two, they want to know probably also your values. Yeah. Your values.
What do you stand for?
What do you stand for?
Yes.
Yeah. Are you, for example, a team player? Yeah. Are you a person who is innovative?
Yes.
Yeah.
Quick
Are you
thinker.
quick thinker?
Yes.
A quick learner?
Yes.
You know, that kind of thing.
Some of those things.
Yeah.
Should I give my age? Should I be able to give my tribe, marital status? Am I disabled? Am I pregnant? What are some of the things that I need to put first when talking about myself?
Okay, there are things which are extremely personal.
Okay.
That includes now, you know, yeah, like your age, you know.
Yes.
People will have seen, if they want to know your age, they'll check in the CV, if you have it there. So you just mention things that are relevant to the
people interviewing you.
The interview.
I have a lot of problems. I have not paid my rent. I don't know where I'm going to eat next. It's like sort of a sympathy because there's a lady who went for an interview and she had no other means and she was like, now for me to get this job, I will have to tell the interviewers what is my situation at home. Is it advisable?
It is not wise.
It is not wise.
Yeah, to tell the panel about your personal problems.
Yes.
There are things that you are supposed to keep to yourself. So that will indicate that when you are employed,
yes,
you will even share things which the employee is not supposed to know.
Very true.
Yeah, things which are very personal. So therein you'll have disqualified yourself.
By just telling them, you know,
about
I have
your
not eaten.
deep personal issues.
So try and make it as professional.
To be professional in the way you interact with the panel.
And not too long to bother interviews.
Yes.
Okay. Now, there's a unique statement I need to have every single time so that something that makes me different from other people. What should I say that will be able to leave a mark to the interviewers? Because some questions they ask you, it's just to find out what type of a person is this? What is that unique statement you can be able to say? And they're like, this is the right candidate?
The best way of responding to that question
Yes.
is that first you must have looked at the job description and the job specification.
So it's
The
very
job
important.
specification
Yes.
indicates the kind of person that they require. The job description talks about the job, the nature of the job.
Yes.
So what you need to do is to align yourself to that job specification the best way possible, that actually you fit what had been, what is expected by the employer.
Yes.
In terms of the job description, then you should be able to align your qualification, your experience, your professional development to the job content itself. Yeah, so that you can clearly indicate that you stand above the crowd.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have looked at the job description, and according to the job description, they're looking for someone with an experience of 10 years.
Yeah.
And I have close to 5 years of experience. Can I include such vital information in the tell me about yourself question?
Of course, if you have less experience
Yes.
than what is expected, then you don't highlight negative information, the information that will work against you. You focus on you amplify the strengths. Already
Work
that is a
on it.
weakness on your part.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a weakness that you have less experience than what is expected. But of course, you can, if you ask that, if the interviewer is asking or is questioning your experience,
Yes.
because you have less, then you can, when you while responding, you give responses that will try to mitigate that shortfall, that gap. By example, by saying that you are a fast learner. You are a good learner. You get things very quickly.
Team player.
Yeah, team player, you know.
Yes.
Yeah, so that it covers the weaknesses. Yeah, you mitigate.
When it comes to my former place of work or my former employees, what do I need to say about that?
Normally, it's good to talk positive about your former employer.
As
Even
positive as possible.
Yeah, because as possible. Yeah, that in case that you are a person who is positive in life.
And very mature too.
Mature, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And the moment also it means the time that you also leave this organization, you will not also talk negatively about the same organization.
Yes.
And remember, whoever tells you about others also tells others about you.
So it's a two-way traffic.
Yeah.
So you should be as positive as possible.
Yeah,
and talk
it is
about...
good. Yeah. Because obviously there are positive things. Even if you had a bad experience with your former employer,
yes,
there are positive things that you gained, the experience that you had, that is positive.
Yes.
So there are good things that you had, you experienced during the period that you were working with your...
And if I was wrongfully fired,
yes,
how do I handle that?
If you are wrongfully fired,
yes,
of course, that's a different ball game altogether. Yeah. The employer may also want to know, the new employer may want to know what was the circumstances under which you are behind it.
Yes.
So it becomes a challenge. Yeah. So you rather talk about the positive things than...
So I shouldn't go to, but you know, even though they taught me a few things, I still think they wrongfully fired me.
Yeah.
Let's not go there.
Let's not go there.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
And also,
you are opening a can of worms.
Very true. You're just opening bad memories.
Bad memories.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's very important to talk about, when talking about yourself, some of your greatest achievements that you're able to get from the other side.
Correct.
And some of the trainings.
Yes.
Oh, okay. So that has been Meet the HR show. If you are wrongfully fired, you have heard what you need to do. Don't open that can of worms, kindly. That has been how to answer the tell me about yourself question, and I hope you've learned a few things, because I have, and it's a very important and vital question that when you go for an interview, you're able to answer it according to the description that you're being given by your potential employer. So what is your parting shot?
Kabarak University
Yes.
is the best university. You can pursue your program. We have undergraduate, master's, and PhD programs
Yes.
in various fields. And what we can always assure our students is that they'll be able to finish their programs on time.
On time.
Within the stipulated
No
time.
delay and being
That's
told,
our
"Oh."
promise. That's our promise.
What an amazing promise.
Yes, yes. And that we will be able not only to equip our students with the skills, knowledge, and the competencies, but also we build their character. Because character is very important.
It's very important.
Character is very important.
Yes. Sometimes
so
you may have all the skills,
yes,
but the character is very wanting.
So, and we offer education in biblical perspective. Yes. And that's why we nurture our students so that when they go out there, they are able to be the salt and the light in their workplaces. Yes.
Till next time, this has been Meet the HR Show with Ronald. Have a lovely evening.